I thought it was important to at least do an update. I'm not doing well, guys. So, earlier this year in January, I had been having a few months of shakes in my limbs, predominantly in my left hand. I thought maybe it was the cold, but it got distinctly worse. I brought it up to my doctor during a visit. They said they'd set up something with neurology to look into it. And it took 6 months to get into neurology. And neurology pretty much said, we'll set you up with an appointment for a test in August. So I'm supposed to have an appointment this coming week for a test. But I don't think that test is going to tell us why I have the hand tremors. In the midst of that time period waiting to get in to see the neurologist, I also developed migraines and ocular migraines where I lose my vision for half an hour to an hour. I've also had insomnia where I'm unable to fall back asleep after waking up, and I wake up about 3 hours after falling asleep. So I wake up 3 hours after going to bed, unable to sleep more. 3 hours asleep, 21 hours awake. And it happens to last months. They tried to prescribe me something like trazodone. Trazodone doesn't even knock me out. It doesn't even make me sleepy. So something's wrong. I don't know what it is. One of the other things I struggle with is anxiety and depression. So I also have a digestive ailment that's pretty disabling. And my experience of developing that digestive ailment was traumatic enough that I have health anxiety because of it. So I get sent into panic attacks when new health problems arise, and I very easily get into a deep depressive state when I have new health concerns. In the last 2, 3 years, I've had COVID twice from work environments. I've had shingles. I've had my gallbladder go on me and complications in the surgery to remove my gallbladder. I've had a colonoscopy, and now I've got these tremors and these migraines and the visual loss, the insomnia, and it's really messing with me. It's really screwing up my head. And the thing that makes this even worse is I've been on disability for a while. I've been on disability for years. And so when you're on disability, one of the things you can do for pickup work to make sure you can meet costs of living, which I can't meet costs of living even with pickup work, but they hook you up with Voc Rehab, a vocational rehabilitation. So I've tried to work with Voc Rehab in the past. For a few years, I was homeless. For about a year, I was homeless. And when I was homeless, I was no longer eligible for services provided like that. I'm not homeless technically anymore, but I'm not in a good living situation. My rent currently is 4/fifths of my income from disability. I've tried to work with Voc Rehab to get them to help me work on my disability benefits and employment opportunities. And I was led to believe that they were working with me on those things. But I've gotten notice just today when I finally was able to get into the mail again that both Voc Rehab and my disability, which also includes Medicare, which is my medical coverage, are all being canceled on me. and they're being canceled because they're under the impression that I may have been receiving pay for work that I have not been. And they want me to confirm or deny it, but they wanted the confirmation by the 4th of August. And I didn't get that information, that they were seeking that information before today. The first notice I got of the 10-day limit by which I had to report whether or not I was receiving income ended on the 4th, and I didn't find out about it until today. So I am no longer going to be receiving income from disability. So I will no longer receiving any income. I will no longer be able to access the employment help from vocational rehabilitation. I will no longer be able to receive medical care through Medicaid or Medicare. And applications for services like Medicaid and other benefits stipulate that they're part of a suite of things you have to apply for. And one of them is disability. And I will not be getting disability anymore. So I won't have any income. I won't have any medical coverage. I won't have any help getting jobs that will support me through my disability needs. I'm having these tremors, nervous condition problems, anxiety and depression. I'm having suicidal ideation, panic attacks, and it's really messing with me. Now, I mean, my disability what has been for years, both to do with my digestive ailment and severe depressive issues, severe anxiety issues. But I'm also autistic. It used to be termed Asperger's, but I'm on the spectrum. So I need supports and I need help with certain things. Some of that is navigating the bureaucracy of these systems. And I thought I was getting that help from voc rehabilitation services, but I wasn't. And that I thought I was getting it, I wasn't getting it, and that is what has, to a degree, led directly to me losing my benefits. I'm going to try to communicate with them and call them and get information about what I can do and maybe see if we can save my benefits. But it doesn't look good. And it puts my head in a space that I don't like it to be in. I was already in a space where I was struggling with the idea that I'm likely to have a shorter lifespan than most people. My life expectancy is below average. And I already know that I'm more likely to be homeless, suffer chronic health concerns, just by the nature of what I've already got as disabling conditions. And I've been struggling this year with the anxiety and the depression that comes along with having new symptoms to new illnesses and a post-traumatic stress disorder involving health conditions that I've had developed in the past. And post-traumatic stress about homelessness. So I was already struggling with those things. And I'll probably have some of those things happen again, since I will not have any income and I will not have any support systems. It does not look good for my future. And so that already puts me in the headspace of like mourning the life that I could have had. Of there were things I wanted to do, things I wanted to create and share. places I wanted to visit, people I wanted to talk with, moments I wanted to share. And it become more and more apparent over the last few months that I just don't get to have those things. But now it's increasingly becoming apparent to me that not only do I not get to have those things,